Progress Racing presents Show Us Your Tips midweek preview for April the 20th, 2021. Having a look towards, let's say, a couple of less than inspiring midweek meetings, Canterbury and Bendigo tomorrow. Coming off day 2 of the championships, probably not the biggest cards you've stuck your teeth into, Beaver.
No, mate, it's pretty disappointing. It's probably the worst set of cards I've seen since we've ever started the show, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not overly inspiring, but in the past when we haven't had over an inspiring days, Daggy, we've picked the eyes out of them. So let's hope tomorrow can be one of them.
Any highlights from on course on Saturday?
Mate, I have to say, more or low light, I was really disappointed with the state of the track. I know they had up a good 4, but there was no way in hell or high waters that was a good 4. They never downgraded the track, but if you look at the times and where the horses were finishing from, they were all getting out to middle of the track. They were all coming down the lanes there, and the times were just not there for a good 4. It was definitely dead, if not bordering slow. I think they put too much water into it, but they, as they normally do on big race days, they haven't got the gonads to tell the punters that the track isn't as good as what it is, so they just leave it sitting at a good 4.
Well, there was no excuse because there was literally no rain all week. So the only excuse could possibly be irrigation.
Mate, a DB came out and said, track's too firm, want a softer track. Both the best horses in the world were there. They want a softer track, and I think they gave them a softer track. You look at horses like Natoya, there's no way
it beats Provial.
Natoya beats Provial on a half decent track. Natoya doesn't win on anything other than wet. You looked up on the inside on the Sydney Cup, the 2 horses, She's Ideal and Realm of Flowers, were huge. There was no way you could make ground on the fence there, and they stuck to their task really well there. Just if you go and look at the times, Adib and Very Elegant ran 3.5 seconds slower than Winx. That's somewhere around 50 meters.
Yeah.
Winx is not a 50-meter better horse than those horses. I know she's good, but she's not that good.
Yeah.
So there was no way that track was a good track. And you could see when you were out there that they were getting a little bit into that track.
Yeah. And you know, it's one thing to do it and have it prepared that way. That's one discussion. But the biggest thing I think punters want to just be told the truth. And it's all right to look at time.
Yeah.
Sort of we jerried halfway through the day, but if you're just or even on track, if you're on track and just wandering around and you're not hearing announcements and just working off a good track, and not doing your own work, sort of checking out times and that, which is not always easy depending where you are on track or at the tab or wherever you might be. It's you're doing your dough, or you.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're doing your day. You were no chance. You know, we were at the track. Trent was there, and he backed Natoya purely because of the state of the track.
Yeah.
And he said it now comes into play, and it wins a race once a year. There was no way that it would beat probability. You even look at the last race. The New Zealander was outstanding. They backed it off the map. It was drawn wide, and it's at 50 wide the whole, and still hit the line.
Yeah.
It was huge. It should have won the race, no doubt about it. But to be able to sit that wide, if it wasn't the track wasn't playing that way, would have been no chance.
Yeah, well, I had my quaddies on at 8 o'clock in the morning just because, you know, you go about your day, I had the kids and whatever else, and I would have been easy crying after spilt milk, but I would have had Natoya in it if I'd known it would have been a soft 6 at that time of day. End up paying 37K. It was the only leg I missed. So, but you know, such is life, and that's part of unputting quaddie. But you know,
and I'm not sure Caulfield was any better, to be honest.
No. That track is now starting to feel tired to me, and they're backing up again this week. So we'll cross that bridge on Thursday night, I suppose. But yeah, that was not great.
So yeah, it was my take out of the day and my disappointment.
Fair enough.
Just the track.
Yeah, well, we're lucky enough to have a racing show through progressracing.com.au, so we get to vent these issues, which aren't always vented elsewhere. But yeah, we will now get into a preview here, I suppose, and have a look towards Canterbury, where it is on paper a good track, rail 3. It's been okay last few meetings. It was back on pace last meeting, so it's our default Canterbury small fields all day. So I'm looking for best horse And a lot of these horses aren't necessarily map advantage at Canterbury. So we'll see how the track plays, and we'll get into it. First race is the Waller show here. Are you with any of the Waller horses in the maiden 1550?
Yeah, I think the Waller favourite here, Yangtze Rapids, gets its chance to win a race here. Comes off two reasonably good runs from a spell. If it's going to win a race, it should win a race like this. It was less than a length off from last start at Canterbury, and prior to that, ran pretty well behind Jojo as a man at Randwick in a decent race. So I'm expecting it to be super hard to beat in this race. Short enough, but should be good enough.
I'm actually going to go. I thought it peaked on its run 200 out this course and distance a couple of weeks back. I'm just going to go with the different form altogether, which is PK's Legacy. Trialled okay coming to this prep. Forget about last prep; it was all too short stuff. And then first up at Newcastle just was not given any chance and stormed home. And I think out to this distance will suit. It's his second favourite, so it's not a mystery. But I think it'll run well here. Tommy Berry's riding as well as anyone right now. And just on the suspicion that Yangtze might not run the distance, I'm going with that. If it does, I definitely wouldn't be shocked. It's the obvious pick here in a pretty weak race. Otherwise, it's owned most of the rest of these already. So yeah, just going different form as I want to do sometimes. Anything in the couple of 2-year-old races?
Nothing for me in the second, mate.
No, that's fine.
And I did go in the third. I wasn't overly super keen on the race, but I thought if I was going to have a bet, I'd look at something around Cork Harbour. Thought its only start was reasonably good behind Remark, which goes okay, and then trialled okay recently, earlier this month at Warwick Farms. So again, James McDonald Waller could run well, and I also thought in that race, not without a chance, was the Astrologer. So it had some decent form in Sydney. They took it to a decent race in Eagle Farm where it ran okay, and then its trial wasn't too bad. So those are the two that I'd be playing in the third.
Yeah, cool. I confused myself in the boys race. The race 2, the girls one, I sort of did the same. Mirror Views trialled against some of the better 2-year-olds. Gin Martini, Tiger Malay, Paul Eel. Okay trials around $8 mark, but neither of these two I'll really get involved with too much, which we'll get to the more exposed form here. Race 4. Here we go. I've just noticed Brooks By's out, so no tricks here for me. I was going to tip 15 Aria anyway. I'm going to tip it now that Brooks By's come out. Nice enough win on resuming at Hawkesbury. It was just laid in all the way up the straight. It was pretty strong through the line. This actually went to town last prep and sat 3 wide starting in the market on a Saturday. This is an ordinary race, and I think it'll win here.
Very ordinary race, but I didn't know whether I was allowed to let you tip horses coming off Hawkesbury form.
I'm making exception because it won and also because the race stings. So
Okay. Cool.
I was going to be clever with and tip it against Brooks By, but yeah, no real trophy for me today. Wild Irish might improve off the first up run, but what's it all mean there? Anything you want to add?
No, thank you.
Okay. Race number 5, the benchmark 72 over the 1100 meters. Anything you want to add here?
Yeah, I do. I like Molly Cottle resuming. I think it's a nice little bet around the $5 mark. Given a fairly easy time of it in its most recent trial at Kembla. Prior to that, won a nice race before it went for a spell at Wyong. Drew wide, but really hit the line really hard. And then prior to that, finished second behind a decent horse by the name of Private Eye. Mm-hmm. Was only 1.3 lengths behind it at Randwick. So I think Private Eye would be winning this race and winning this race pretty easy, probably be somewhere around $1.10. So I think that's quite handy form for a race like this, resuming if it's ready to go. Then hopefully Huey can do the right thing, and this should be hard to beat.
I'm going to go with some fresh form as well. I'm going to go for Lennon. It owned Exoboom before it went out to for a spell last prep. Absolutely owned it. Comes back here, no trial, but of late, this seems to be the formula for some of these resumers, coming straight to town off no trial. At $8, happy to, if we get 8 horses by this time tomorrow, happy to have a each way bet on Lennon. I like what you found with Mollycoddle and Ocean Emperor. I've made enough cases for throughout this prep. That was a decent enough run behind Selena Dreaming, and then before that behind Lost and Running. But I think Fresher might be better here for the two we've mentioned. We're up to race number 6, second leg of the quaddie. Another 72 over the 1550. What have we got? Upper House has come out. Who do you like?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the favourite Blesk. Thought it was a very impressive win last start. Flying this preparation in, drawn in the 8, I think really suits it. It'll allow it to pull to the middle of the track, hit the line hard, and it'll let down over the last 200, and hopefully reel them in like it did last start at Warwick Farm, winning quite comfortably. So I'm expecting that it can back that up and take care of this field. Yeah, that's about it for me.
Cool. I'm going to go first upper again. Not always, probably you're getting distance ranges where it's not always the best thing, 1550, but Montserrat trialled both trials this time in have been really good. Have been synthetic and heavy track trials, now coming to a dry Canterbury, so maybe a concern, but went out beating Joyny, who's gone to Saturday races and beating the likes of Niami before that. Probably wants longer, but they're not messing around, just bringing it straight to town off 1500, I think can run well. Again, it's been backed overnight, so no real trophies for finding these, but we'll see how that goes as well. Second last of the day is the 1900 meter race, benchmark 72. Did you have any interest here?
No, thanks.
I've got Solar Apex on top. Where is it? $4. Just sort of peaked on its run. The second up there behind Lady Loves to Gamble. It looked like it had the race shot to bits, and I thought just ran out of condition. Now has had the run over the 1900 or the 1850. Should be ready to go here. Should go pretty close to being on pace and have control of this. And I think will run really well. Maybe can forgive Mars off the run in the Group 3 race last time, but it was pretty average there. I might just be my kick. So Solar Apex on top there. And we'll wrap up the day with another 1200 meter 72. I'll put another Waller horse. Big day for Chris Waller. No, I won't. He's been scratched. Never mind. I was going to put Rambanis on top. Other than that, I don't like this race necessarily. I'll forgive Gravina because it did go to Hawkesbury and got beaten there, which we've seen some good horses do that and bounce off it and improve, but I don't necessarily like the race now. Anything here?
Yeah, look, I'm going for one resuming here. I actually like Kobe Rocks. I thought that both trials have been pretty good. Ran second in a trial behind the Face. Prior to that, it won at Kembla Grange, beating Shadow Chaser, won pretty well. But if you go back to its previous preparation, this horse was running in New Zealand. And if you go back to October last year, it ran 7th in a race won by Aegon, finishing only 3 lengths from the winner there. So I think it was Hawke's Bay Guineas or something along those lines. So it was a Group 2 race. So I thought that was good enough form for a race like this. Come to Australia, won its first start, won its first start at Kembla Grange for Bjorn Baker, and then had 2 trials since. Might be worth a look.
No, fair enough. Not much more to add at Canterbury tomorrow. For progretracing.com.au, your best and value, which I need to find one.
My value comes up in race 8, number 6, which is Kobe Rocks. Thought that might be a nice chance. And my best bet of the day comes up in race 6, number 5, Blesk.
I'll make my best 15 Aria with the scratchings, and I'll make my value Lennon in race number 5. We'll head down to Bendigo, where at the Nursery of Champions, as they call it, they're opening with 4 pretty hard to put together maiden races with a lot of unexposed horses. Do you have anything in the first half of the card you can even get your teeth into?
Yeah, no, I didn't really like the first race. And then I thought the second race, I didn't mind the jump out of Adorable Hugh, or whatever you say, or however you pronounce it, from the Kamani stable.
Adorable Who Are You?
Yeah, maybe that's it. Nice one. Yeah. Who are you?
Who are you?
Nice. Who are you? Yeah, there you go. I thought its jump out wasn't too bad. So I thought it might be hard to beat.
Yep.
Didn't really like too much in the third, and the fourth, you can leave me out of that.
How about in the fourth? It's a maiden race. There's a horse in it's run 5 races, which is the
hurdles
coming off. Yeah, all hurdle races. But these maiden staying races are the lowest races of all time, because if you can't win a race over a distance before this time when you're a maiden, you probably should be doing something else. But so I'm going to actually go with the Von Duser winner. Get its first flat win here. Beat ZM last time. It's fair enough form for some horses that should be at the Burrawa Picnics next week. I'll put it on top. Why not? Race number 5, they will get into the back half of the card, whereas there's a couple of interesting betting opportunities. Staying race, again, 2,400 metre benchmark 70 kicks off the quaddie down there. I'll put Cernan on top. I like the way it sort of led and fought on last time. Now third up, just nabbed by Green Ivy. I'm thinking can get leader here and be very hard to beat. On top for me, obviously Sign Still Deliver was a nice win 2 back. Only Danger. Anything to add here?
Yeah, no, I like Cernan as well. I thought last start was pretty good. Like the way it got to the line, and yes, looks a real threat in this.
Benchmark 64 over the mile is race number 6. I can't really tip anyone into anything here, can you?
Yeah, I was going for the 10, My Rock Ali, from the Pruska stable, as I quite often do.
Yep.
Thought it won its maiden really well last start. Prior to that, had some really decent form, albeit in maiden races. This isn't an overly strong affair. Around the $6 mark, I think it can be hard to beat. Probably the favourite, the Main Danger.
Race number 7, 1,400 metre benchmark 70. I'm with the market here. Dirty Deeds, due to win a race, I think it can run. It can finally get that done tomorrow. Been sort of struggling around on your leaderish Sandans the last few weeks, and I think getting here to Bendigo where it can get to the outside and reel in a field will suit. And Jamie Carr going on seems to be a big gear change down south. So with the market there, and with your man as the Main Danger, if he gets a run here, knock, gets a start. Was nice enough has been going well enough, I should say, last 2 starts, and we'll win one of these sort of races.
Yeah, I thought the same. If it gets a start, might be hard to beat.
And we'll wrap up the day with a benchmark 70 for the girls over 1,300 metres. What do you like here?
Yeah, I'd like the favourite here. I think this will be really hard to beat. Sophia trialled really well at Cranbourne. Prior to that, was in a pretty difficult race at Sandown, and then before that at Moonee Valley, wasn't far off Yukon. Jamie Carr aboard. I think this gets all the favours from gate 4. Hard to beat, and Main Danger, Night Witches.
Yeah, I agree. Sophia trialled, it started in the market against Ayrton, who they're talking up as a Stradbroke chance. And then that Yukon track was, went chased Yukon, that was just leaders. If you didn't lead that night, you weren't going to win. So you sort of forgive both of those. And trial since is very nice. It'll be my best of the day, Sophia. I don't really have a value, but I think Cernan will be hard to beat in its race as well. What about you two? What about you?
Yeah, I had Sophia as well as my best bet in race 8, and my value bet of the day comes up in race 6, number 10, My Rock Ali.
Very nice. For progroupracing.com.au, have you got anything up north?
I got three up north for us here tomorrow, mates. The first one comes up in race 2, number 7, Orbison. And then my other 2 bets come up later in the day. Race 7, number 9, the 1st of May, and the $354 mark. And the last race, race 8, number 12, East Asia.
Very good. Oh, yeah, East Asia's coming off. That was a hot race, wasn't it? Centerfire.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Very good. I think that'd be a nice winning chance up there. We're heading towards, so this Thursday, we'll do the last day of the championships, the unofficial third day of the championships, all age stakes day. After that, we head to Queensland. So we might spend a bit of time doing, giving you a chance to do some full previews for the Queensland Winter Carnival once we get up there and see what the rest of Australia looks like around that and how we structure the shows. Apart from that, Beaver, good luck tomorrow. It's not been the most inspiring show we've ever done, I'll be honest, but we hopefully a couple of winners there and we can get our bank up for Saturday.
Look forward to it.
Catch you then, mate.